Okay, now the next step in your paintings are that we need to make sure that we're working with color balance, but I think what most of us are lacking is the light source. We need to make sure with the interior space paintings, it's a little different than the still life paintings, because you were used to sort of a smaller area in which to compose your color, so you jump to detail and blending maybe a little quicker. With the interior space, you will not be blending or working with detail until probably the last few minutes of your painting. So as you're working now, you've done that sort of first, actually I think most of you have done 2 or 3 rounds of your color. You're working with the sort of color balance, but I think you're trying to commit too soon. Ellen and I talked a few minutes ago, commit too soon to that's my color palette, that's my color structure. What you need to do at that point is step back, and now you really need to start listening to your paintings. You step back and you notice, where's my eye drawn to? Elizabeth, we walked in and talked about her painting the other day, and actually her color structure is really strong, but it looks nothing like what's up there, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. That's what a painter does. A painter isn't just a camera. We respond to reality, but then we interpret it in our own way. So one of the things that Elizabeth needs to do is now listen to her painting and not kill what she already has sort of set up. Many of us have sort of started a little too much from what we see, and we're trying to paint what we see instead of playing with intensity with our colors. So light, instead of mixing white, we're going to use intensity for that. So thinking light source, thinking colors next to each other. You know, for example, this painting here. Who's painting? Is this? Okay, Stacy's painting here. She's got a really nice start here with the background. That tie is really nice. The color structure there is very good. We have, you know, the blue, that sort of blue hat with that nice green-gray background. What is missing there is the light source. So playing off of that really nice combination of that blue-gray and that green-gray, but now kicking up the intensity where that hat is a lighter value. And also being really sophisticated in where that light source is, so you can actually push that blue-gray into the green-grays in around that hat and then move your eye in and around. One of the things that though Stacy is doing, she's getting beautiful brushwork in the tie, right, and in part of that umbrella handle, but she's also beginning to get a little too detailed in some areas while she still has white on the canvas. And so the white on the canvas is causing that contrast and making the painting appear to me more exciting than it is right now. So you need to make sure that you're putting some color in those areas in order to really get that painting to sort of punch in that way. So I think that's probably more or less what you need to do at this point, is step back from your painting. First of all, if you've got white, you need to put some color. Then you need to step back from your painting and you need to think about color theory and how the colors are, you're connecting, your brain and eye are connecting those colors, you move around the canvas, and then trying to decide what you're going to do next with the painting. Okay? Okay. Let's get working. Things that we were talking about with the group is how you have increased the intensity of this tablecloth and you're pushing your painting out spatially here. As I was saying once before, one thing that makes a great painter is a painter who breaks the rules. And you need to know the rules in order to break them. One of the things I've always said is to use a pastel really deadens the light source. But for some reason, and the color's mysterious, you've used this pastel violet, which is actually reading as light in the background. And I think it's because you've kicked up the intensity in the foreground so much, so it's reading as light source, so that this soft pastel actually reads as a sort of a very soft light in the background, which is really nice. You've got a lot of clarity in certain areas, like here, 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 and this is really a lovely area here. I can see that this sort of flower area will be developed eventually. Be very careful that you don't crop something here on the end where it runs down the format. or the edge of the painting.